Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cloudbeds Live episode. My name is Paula. I'm a partner marketing specialist at Cloudbeds and your host of today's show. And today we're going to talk about reviews and revenue. More specifically, how can reviews impact a hotel's revenue? We want to turn stars into dollars, right? So I have here with me two special guests that you already can see on the screen, and I'm going to welcome them very, very soon. But first, let me welcome our audience again. I know people are starting to join us. Welcome to this live show. Very excited to be here. Please let us know where you're watching the show. Let us know your questions, your comments. Share your experience that you have with reviews or even how you maximize your hotel's revenue. We learn from each other here, so it's always good to have this interaction. That's the beauty of a live show, is the interaction. So don't be shy and don't miss the opportunity to ask directly to these two experts on the topic your questions. And hello, I see here people, Karina. Hi, Karina, from Brazil, my home country. Hello, Martina from Barcelona. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Danielle is saying, hello, Paula, Adele, and Pablo. A pleasure to hear and learn from you. Thank you so much, Danielle. Thanks, everybody who is joining us today. So let me welcome our guests. I don't want to be rude, of course. So first, let me introduce Adele Gutman, host of Get Great Reviews podcast and USA Top 100 Hospitality Social Media Influencer 2024. Among other titles and awards, Adele, you have too many, so I chose this to prefer. Hope you're happy with that. But welcome to the show, Adele.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I like to share that when I was with my last company for 20 years, 15 of those years, we were absolutely on the top of TripAdvisor, top of our hotels, in top of their countries, on top of their cities, with the highest review scores in the world. So I know what I'm speaking about when it comes to how to get great reviews.
Oh, that's awesome, Adele. I can't wait to hear you. Well, I follow you on LinkedIn, so you know everything that you say. Always taking note. So thank you so much for being here. And welcome also to Pablo Torres, top 25 global social media influencer, hospitality consultant, LinkedIn top voice, among other things, Pablo. So thank you so much for being here and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thanks, Paula.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to talk to you too. I can see more people are saying hello here and I asked them to say hello. So I should read them. So I already apologize if I say any names wrong. I'm sorry. So Surai, I think, attending from New Jersey. Thank you so much. R is attending from, let me see here, Tupela. I think it's how we say it. So thank you from Toronto as well. So we are very global. That's always cool to see. But let's start talking about today's topic, which is review and revenue, as I mentioned before. So people say any publicity is good publicity. Personally, I do not agree when it comes to hotels, because I think that publicity can really, really hurt you. But, you two know much better than I do. So I'm here to hear you. And so I'm going to start by asking this question. So how does the online reputation impact revenue for good and for bad? And especially bookings, how it can impact bookings. So I'm going to start with you, Adele. What's your thoughts about this very general question?
Well, they say, actually, this is a statistic that I read a few months back from Expedia, where they said that hotels that have 3.9 out of 5 get, or I should say, if they get a 4.4 out of 5 versus 3.9, they get 35% more revenue. And it's easy to understand why that would be. People have more consumer confidence in a hotel that gets consistently 5-star reviews with people who are really enthusiastic about their experience. So you have more consumer confidence, you have a higher perceived value of the experience that that you're offering, and so naturally those two things will equate to better ADR. But in terms of visibility, all of the algorithms from Expedia, Booking.com, Google, TripAdvisor, all of the algorithms are giving more visibility to higher rated hotels. So definitely you are hurting your chances of getting revenue if you're not among the highest in guest reviews. And every single negative review, I had a guest on one of my shows who was an expert on guest experience, and he said that one negative review can turn away 30 other guests.
Wow.
That came to. So it can be very dangerous. And one more thing, now that AI is out there and summarizing reviews, if you get a negative review, you might be able to deal with that customer afterwards and win them back. But that doesn't mean that negative comment won't be showing up in AI summaries about your hotel. So you really want to be careful and avoid negative reviews.
Yeah, well, first of all, I love, I love how you put it in terms of data or in terms of numbers, because it's in the end of the day, people talk about about money. So of course we all care about the guest experience and all that, but I love how you say, like, increasing the ratings, it's actually an increase in revenue, and the other way around too. Like I was a bit shocked that was up to 30 people that that wouldn't book it at your hotel simply because you have bad reviews. And let's be honest, we all trust reviews a lot, much more than family accommodations, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's the knowledge of, or the wisdom of the craft. If you have a lot of people saying the same thing, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to have that same experience. So obviously, if you're spending a lot of money, maybe to go to a foreign country, or you just have precious little time to travel, you want to make sure you make a good choice. So those reviews are very persuasive.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big investment to travel, in time, money, and everything. Pablo, I want to hear your thoughts too. How do you think that reviews can impact revenue?
No, they do, and obviously, as following on Adele was saying, it's not only about the score that you get on different sources, be it TripAdvisor, Google, or Booking.com. It's also about the volume, and that's also very important. So I was also doing some research, preparing for this chat. There is this research from Cornell says that a 5% for TripAdvisor, 5% increase in review volume can increase your price by 1.42%. Why? Because if you don't know hotels, you go into a new destination and you don't know those independent hotels. You have one with loads of reviews, very positive, another one with no or very few reviews. So since you don't know either or, obviously, as Adele was saying, you're going to go to the one that has more reviews, because if you have some cases like 1,000, 5,000 reviews, some hotel.
Yeah.
That many people scoring a hotel 4.5 out of 5 or 9.3 out of 10. I'm not be wrong. So many people that would need to be wrong. So you just follow the crowd and you will end up booking there. So because there are more customers looking into that hotel, there's more demand, and therefore you are able to increase your rates. So
Yeah.
a very, very direct.
I remember Trust You saying that you get as much as 4 times as many people will book the higher rated hotel. Why would you? Why, if you're traveling with your loved one or your business associates, you want it to be a great experience. Everybody wants to be treated like a VIP. Why wouldn't you choose the better hotel. As long as it still fits in your budget and it's the location that you want, you're going to actually splurge and pay a little bit extra happily to confirm that you're going to get a hotel that you're going to love.
Yeah. Pablo, I love it to talk about the volume. I think that's a very important factor that maybe we don't address as much. But just being like a devil's advocate here, I post something about reviews and on my LinkedIn, and Bob, who is the CEO of Event Temple, he replied, and he said like, yeah, but getting a lot of the same complaint many times, it's a very big alert. That's what made him not book, because it does show like the hotel really don't care. Like if you're still having the same problem, I think it's different. I don't know if you agree with me. It's different when you see different bad reviews, like,
Yes.
but if you have the same ones, like, come on, like that.
Means that we didn't take action, right?
Yeah. Then
We assume that if someone is getting that many bad reviews, focus on the same item, then they will take action and fix that. I was speaking. Oh, sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
It's just yesterday I was at a local event. I was speaking with the GM of a hotel, independent hotel, and he was saying, in the winter, because it's quieter, I can manage to have different events at the same time, different wings, because capacity is not that high. So I don't mind. I won't get any or very few bad reviews. Now in the summer, beach resort, when I have the hotels filled with very high paying customers during the holidays, I cannot push it that hard to have events at the same time because of the noise of the music, because all the reviews and those customers.
That's absolutely true. You have to be smart like that. There are times that it does not pay to have a group because you're going to get complaints about, having to wait too long for elevators, having to wait too long for a seat in the restaurant. When there's a high demand for individual travel and you know that you're going to handle that much more smoothly, that's maybe not the time for groups or something like that. People want to have a certain ambiance also for certain getaways, and that group could crush that vibe. On the other hand, when you're empty and you really need the extra business, that would be, that's a time when you really need it, and it adds the energy to the hotel. So yeah, you have to learn from your experiences. I know that when I see the same complaint over and over again, and sometimes I'll even see the same cut and paste response over and over again to that same complaint, and I can almost feel in my body the pain of the employee having to say again, for the 50th time, that they're going to take that up to the manager and, be sure to take care of it. And thank you for providing the information that's going to, help us improve for our guests, when you can clearly see that they're not listening. Well, that is soul crushing to an employee. Employees want to feel like they are part of something good, that they are part of a winning team, and that when they catch on to something the guests are not liking, the management and the team will work together to find solutions. Maybe you can't solve the whole problem. If you're on Times Square, you're always going to have noise, but at least perhaps you can diminish that issue a little bit with the kind of windows you have, or putting some foam between the connecting doors, or little things you can do. Put some trim around the door to the hallway. Whatever those little things that you can do that just chip away at the problem bit by bit until it doesn't control the experience. It just becomes a small, not very important part of the experience. And what really shines through is the joy that they're having. If you want your guests to love you, you've got to love them first. And that comes from listening to what they say and learning from what they say.
No, that's true. That's a great point. Before I go to the next question, just want to add also something that you mentioned, Adele, about having events. And Pablo also, like, you have to be smart. strategically what is best for you. But also, I think you need to be honest when you describe the experience that you're going to provide in your hotels. I feel like sometimes, especially with, you want a young crowd that likes to party, then go for it. Don't try to, I don't know, to not advertise it in a way that you would. I think hotels need to understand that they have an ideal guest. Maybe it's not every guest that will like your hotel, and that's okay. I feel like sometimes we try to please everyone, and yeah, then you get the expectations are not met. But yeah, going to the next one and also saying hello here because people are on fire and chat. So thank you so much, first of all, everybody, for joining us. So we have Julia here from Spain. We have someone in the Netherlands. Lonnie is here in the house. Buenos Aires, San Diego. Yeah, we have Lonnie saying here, it's for you, Adele. Adele is the real deal, one of the best globally. And I have to get great guest review. It's always great to have a nice feedback or positive review, I would say. Martina is sharing here. I always check reviews and I'm willing to pay more for hotel with higher review score. Yeah, I think we all do. I agree with you, Martina. And Danielle is saying, and it's terrible when the hotel gives the same, like you said, the same reply to you as a customer after a review. Seems like you're not being heard at all. Yeah, so Adele, for the next question, it's okay. You are a hotelier, you run a hotel, you're starting to have bad reputation online. So what hotels can do to improve their reputation? What are the good strategies here when the damage is already, being made?
Well, I can talk about this for 4 days without stopping. But to make it real quick, 4 things. Loud, listen, limitless, and learn. So loud, I don't mean shouting. I just mean share with your team. Make sure everyone really hears you when you say, hey, I invite you to join our team in a journey of continuous improvement. We want to get better every single day. And we want to make sure that everybody who leaves this hotel leaves so excited and so happy about their experience here that they will tell all their friends and family and business associates. And if we're really lucky, they'll share that experience with the world. So I want everybody to know, this is the kind of hotel we want to be. We want to be the kindest and the most friendly and the most competent and the most gracious and welcoming place. And so then what we're asking is to listen. Listen to the employees are going to tell you what is making people frown, what is making people lose their joy and enthusiasm for the hotel. And the employees will also tell you, what people are excited about and what lights them up, and share the things that light them up and double and triple it. And then every day try to find opportunities to diminish friction. 3, limitless thinking. I feel the pain of that hotel that hotel employee who's writing that review or who's receiving the bad review, that nobody's doing anything to help them be successful at making guests happy. If you are saying there's nothing I can do all the time, well, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. You need to change that mindset to a winning mindset and say, I may not have all the answers, but if I huddle together with my team and say, what can we do to diminish this problem, even just a little bit, let's do it. And learn today and do something different today than you did yesterday. Learn from what went wrong, learn from what went right, and double up on the positives, chip away at the negatives, and you will find your reputation changing. And notice I didn't say anything about responding to reviews in writing. that is just the cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of the dessert of this meal of reputation cultivation. Reputation optimization is having the guests actually leave happy. That is the important part. Too many people are distracted by the online response when that is the least important aspect of reputation optimization.
That's a great tip, Adele. And I think I remember going back when I was a hotelier a long time ago now. But I honestly don't remember anything being done after getting a bad review, except maybe yelling to the employee if he was mentioned in the But
I see something about that just real quick.
Yeah,
I know we're short on time, but yeah, the worst thing you can do, and I learned this the hard way because this is not how I was started in the industry, but I found out over time that the best way to approach a negative review that maybe came from a particular department is to approach that person or that team with, I know that your heart is in the right place. I know that you love to make people happy. I know that you care about making this hotel the best it can be every day. So let's just look at what happened together. And as a team, let's try to figure out maybe a more elegant approach that's going to have a more successful outcome. And then everybody can learn from it. I will learn from it, and everyone will. I'm not limiting the learning to that one person. If you approach people as part of the team that's fixing the problem and not being the problem, you will have a lot more success.
Yeah, love that approach. But as you said, time flies here, and I really don't want to end the show before talking to Pablo specifically on how hotels can optimize the rates, and even revenue in general. Through reviews. We already established that reviews impact the hotel's revenue. But do you have any tips or any good strategies that you can share with hoteliers out there?
Hopefully, I have some. So how are the reviews and numbers online? This is a report by Aggregate Intelligence. I was checking. They were doing a research in Madrid, the ultra-luxury hotels, on the reviews they were getting. And over 90% of them are positive, which is very good. Most of them based on staff. So they're receiving a great service. The negative ones were mainly about the price. So they felt that the value for money they were getting wasn't good. It wasn't as expected. And that's the key there when it comes to the link between reviews, revenue, and results for the hotel. If you want to put a formula in there, be something like customer perceived value is the difference between the customer value minus the cost of the hotel. So if when I book a hotel, the value I'm expecting is $200 and it costs $200. But then when I stay there, the perception below those 200, then the result is negative. So we have to aim for the route. So how do you link that revenue? We're talking there about dynamic pricing. And of course, revenue is based on dynamic pricing, but it has to be on everything. So not only about room dynamic pricing going with prices up and down, but let's say, for example, breakfast. Why charging the same price of breakfast on a Monday morning? Most people are business people. They just go there for a quick coffee and leave. We can have families enjoying the entire morning there, having a long breakfast. Yeah. So why not with dynamic prices breakfast? Because those reviews I was mentioning before in that report, they came mainly from the extras, from all the ancillary revenue. So room revenue the perception of the cost was fine, but then all the extras, the cocktail in the bar and everything else that you get, precision was very high. So you have to be mindful in terms of what kind of customer you have in there. You mentioned it before, the segments. Cannot please everyone, obviously. But if you know who you're attracting, who are you appealing, and based on that, you play with your rates in every single department, could make it easier felt. So segmenting pricing, obviously, you don't have to charge the same to everyone, be it person, weekday, weekend, even in the same day. Prices can be different based on location. Parity in revenue is past long overdue. So you don't have to be rate of offering different prices based on the origin of the customer. And also important, monitor your competitors without copying them. Because what happens very often is like people say, oh, that hotel have a similar review level and is increasing rates. I'm going to do it as well. Why? Maybe just got to book a group confirmed, which you don't have. And you just increase the rates because if they're increasing them, I'm going to increase it. No. So not only focusing on the rates, but also what else is happening. So you have to copy paste exactly what the other ones are doing. And all that comes from very good use of data, be it from review sites, be it from any report you might be getting, be it from the video management system that you have. You cannot base this on gut feeling. You need to use analytics to take the decision you have to take when it comes to revenue management.
Oh, I mean, you're spot on talking about different like using the strategy of dynamic pricing, even for, breakfast and stuff. But again, as a former hotelier, it is, I don't know if it's still like this. I'm going to hear your opinion, but it was always tricky to try to explain to the guests that was different prices. You know what I mean? Like, oh, but I saw this person and he has this, whatever. And it was always so difficult. I mean, I used to hate it, honestly, to deal with this. Like, to be honest, because I was not prepared. So I didn't know how to explain that well, so the guests would feel like we are not taking advantage of him. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's coming across, but any do you see that this happens, or this is something that maybe was just my personal experience?
But it's about like educating first-year staff, as Adele was saying before. You're making sure that they understand the rationale behind it, so that they are able to explain it to the customer as well. And if we understand that for the last, 30, 40, 50 years, every airline ticket is sold at a different price.
Yeah.
Customers will then now understand it. It's going to be happening. The same happens with hotel rooms, and the same will happen with the hairdressers, beauty salon, with the restaurants. Dynamic pricing is going to go everywhere. There is elasticity between demand and supply.
Yeah, it also you can vary the service or the product just a little bit. Like on Saturdays and Sundays, it's higher, but we include in that packaging so that people can understand that it's a little, you name it something different than, business breakfast or whatever it is that you might have during the week, however you want to call it. There are things that you can do to make it easier for the staff to explain and easier to be understood by the guests. And I can also say that when I was in charge of revenue for the library hotel collection, for example, we were looking for where people were booking a lot and where people weren't booking a lot. If people were booking a lot on a particular group of days, those are the days that the prices would go up because the demand was there. And the demand was there not because of the fact that the demand was on those days versus another day because, that was the day that had things going on in the city or whatever, but they were quick to book our hotel over other hotels because ours was the bucket list experience that they want to have. They always wanted to try this hotel or the other because there was something unique and different about. And boutique hoteliers just have this wonderful opportunity to really accelerate their hotel as being a fully unique experience, different from every other hotel, and people will pay more for that. And that is what drove our rates up and up and up. This demand, this consumer confidence, this visibility, all driven by the great reviews that we were getting and the great reputation. And people, of course, are going to return more often. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to be willing to pay more. All of this is happening. That's what's driving the rate. Not that we were saying, oh, well, we're number one on TripAdvisor or on Booking.com. Well, Booking.com doesn't have that kind of list, I don't think, but we have the highest reputation score. So that's why we're going to increase the rate. That wasn't what drove the rate. What drove the rate was the booking.
Yeah.
And that's what guided us on which days to go up, which seasons to go up, weekdays, weekends, whatever. It was consumer demand, just like for everybody else, any other industry.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, our time is up. I wish we had much more time because it feels like we didn't even cover the surface. Like, really could go much longer here. But first of all, I want to thank you too, of course, for being in the show, for having the time, taking the time to talk to us. I really, really appreciate. So, starting with you, Pablo, thank you so much for coming. And before you go, just want to curious, are you excited about the summer that it's coming? How do you feel like hotels will perform? Any predictions or anything?
I mean, the outlook is very good, to be honest, very positive everywhere. Globally, in general, after the pandemic, it felt like it might be just a quick trend, the revenge travel, but it's proven that it's not the case. People really want to enjoy and go out and so it looks very good. Just one quick thing about what Adele was saying about boutique hotels. I was checking earlier. What is the most followed hotel in Instagram? And it's a tiny hotel in Mykonos. It has 2.1 million followers. So for boutique hotels, leverage social media and make the most out of it, because it can really have a big advantage. Even if you're tiny in a remote location, you have that, you differentiate yourself and you make use of social media. Barclay can
Absolutely.
Wow, that's great tip and great point. Thank you so much, Pablo, again. And thank you, Adele, as well, for taking the time, talking to us, sharing all your insights into this very interesting topic. And you too, are you excited about this, the summer break that is coming? It's very soon.
We're well into summer here in South Carolina. It's been summer since March. So we're having a great time. And my neighbors are traveling like crazy and spending big bucks doing it. Everybody is just hot to travel right now, and spending their time exploring their own region as well as overseas. So it's all good.
That's awesome. Thank you again, Adele, for being in the show. That's it for today, everybody. I know you all being very kind to us in the comment section, the chat. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to read it all, but thank you so much. We see you. We appreciate you. So thanks again. This was a very inspiring and fun session, so I'm very happy. Just want to give you a spoiler alert to the audience here. Our next live session is already confirmed. Will be on June 5th, and will be with a very, very special guest that it's making me very, very nervous. So if you are curious, just follow us. Follow Cloudbeds on LinkedIn if you don't do it yet, and if you haven't done it yet. So then you know what I'm talking about. So thanks again for all the support, all the audience. It was a pleasure. Thanks again for my special guest, and I see you next time. Bye-bye.